but they want to save our country. These people are incredible, I'll tell you. As the people of Arizona understand better than anyone else, under Kamala Harris, our country is under a thing called invasion. Did you ever hear the word invasion?
When you say what? Oh, wait, here. Listen
like
to
a
Adolf
military
Hitler.
invasion. We're being conquered and we are being occupied by a foreign element. And, you know, if you think about it,
Adolf Hitler,
China
ladies and gentlemen.
has a 5
Welcome back.
million
Welcome back, Adolf
man
Hitler.
army, mostly man in that case, I can tell you. But they have a 5 million person army, and we have 21 million people coming this year. This period of time, 21 million people over the period of the last few years. Think of it, they have a 5 million, that's a big army. And we have 21 million people here, so cut out half. That means you have 10 million people, and they have guns. You just see that. If you look at Colorado, take a look at Aurora. They have guns that are the most sophisticated guns anywhere in the world, high-powered stuff. And, you know, you say to yourself, so if you cut the number in half, 10 million people, and cut that number in half, 5 million, that's the size of China, and what they have is an army. It's pretty dangerous stuff. We got to get them the hell out of here.
What is he talking about? Oh, just every person that is undocumented living on U.S. soil is actually a part of a fucking army that is there to destroy the United States of America. Mind you, they are literally coming from every fucking country on the planet. He's saying that, like, the army that we have bred in our ranks is actually like the Guatemalan abuela who is fucking living here and, like, maybe cleans your mother's house or some shit. Or the Caribbean auntie that is taking care of your fucking grandparents, okay, who are more racist than Adolf Hitler in some ways, okay? All of those people are actually a part of a fucking body, a hive mind, an organization that is trying to destroy the United States of America, okay? Your moms, some of you have undocumented parents, some of you are undocumented, right? He's saying all of these people are together and they're actually here to kill Americans. They are an enemy. They are foreigners that are living in every corner, and they're enemies, and they're here to kill you.
Fly them in. Think of that. They fly them in by jets. They're flying in all the time. And Art, they don't count those numbers, do they? They don't talk about them. When they fly in, and then they have a special app, right? They have an app where the car.
Here.
Advise that this video includes causes.
Du, meine Arbeit für richtig hältst. Tormented Jewish people is shameful. In connection with the Jewish question, I have this to say. It is a shameful spectacle to see how the whole democratic world is oozing sympathy for the poor, tormented Jewish people, but remains hard-hearted and obdurate when it comes to helping them, which is surely, in view of its attitude, an obvious duty.
The Germans, it sounds like you belittle Hitler's actions. I wouldn't use it myself because German sensibilities start kicking in. Yeah, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, there is no reason to ever learn about the Holocaust if you're not going to use the example and the lessons to not do it again. When we are sitting at the eve of the Holocaust, a comparison to that is apt, okay? Like what he is saying about Jews, Donald Trump is saying about immigrants, okay? The choice of words, man, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm not here to fucking play some song and dance with you, okay? I don't care. I don't care how fucking Germans feel about the Holocaust. You want to know why? Because there's currently a genocide happening in Gaza, and at least the way that Germans, liberal Germans, are communicating their fucking sensibilities on it is literally Hitlerian, okay? They love Adolf Hitler, or the Jewish version of Adolf Hitler, in fucking Benjamin Netanyahu. So miss me with this fucking bullshit. If you are coming in here to be like, oh, you're minimizing the Holocaust, then you probably are that liberal German who's doing that as well on the other side. Okay? Because that's fascism. What Donald Trump is doing is fascism. The underpinning of this sentiment is just fascism. Okay? Ultra-nationalist, tying the in-group into a genetic predisposition and simultaneously fucking claiming that the out-group has inferior qualities, that they somehow want to fucking murder all of us in the in-group, that want to destroy American society. That's just fascism. That's exactly what Hitler was, and that's exactly what Benjamin Netanyahu is, and that's exactly what Zionism is as well. So if you come in here and you cry about the comparisons, then I'm sorry, you are exactly the kind of fucking liberal that your grandfather probably was that allowed this fucking fascist monster to rise to power because you were too predisposed with the KPD being the real problem, the trade unionists being the real problem, the socialist Germans being the real problem. Oh, God forbid we have a red revolution in Germany. That would be terrifying. That's exactly what your dumbass liberal grandpappy thought too. And then that dumbass liberal grandpappy of yours picked up arms and went to slaughter Jews. Okay? That is how fascism works. And it's happening right now. It's happening in Israel and it's happening in America. And if you come in here and do some aesthetic bullshit on that issue, you can suck my fucking Turkish cock. Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus fucking Christ.
Arguments that are brought up as an excuse for not helping them actually speak for us Germans and Italians. For this is what they say. One, we, that is the democracies, are not in a position to take in the Jews. Yet in these empires there are not 10 people to the square kilometer, while Germany, with her 135 inhabitants to the square kilometer, is supposed to have room for them. Two.
Talking about the Haitian illegals now. Let's hear it.
Was charged with savagely murdering his two roommates. He had two roommates set up by the people that set that up in this country. Welcome. They go, welcome. What would you like? Oh, I'd like to have a nice room. Okay, we'll give you two
By the way,
roommates.
like, it's even close. Benjamin Netanyahu's statements are even closer to Adolf Hitler's, because that's exactly what he said about the Palestinian. Nobody wants to help the Arabs. No one wants to extend an open arm to the Arabs. Nobody wants to help us in Israel either, okay? It's literally verbatim, one-to-one, which is why it's additionally hilarious that so many fucking anti-Semitic fascists are like, oh, yeah, like they love Hitler, and then they secretly hate Benjamin Netanyahu, I guess, but it doesn't matter because, like, you just come across as jealous because he's getting to do what you want to do in America, okay? You're just jealous that Benjamin Netanyahu gets to do what you want to do in the United States of America, and he gets to do it with your tax dollars. That's it. That's it.
Get it ready. We'll bring back our country in many ways. That's one way. But to me, that's like one of the most important ways. Well, we'll also stop World War III. That's an important way.
Like, you think Hitler didn't present himself as like a guy who was just, you know, forced to do this? He doesn't want to do this. Why do you think the Tucker Carlson, the fake podcast historian guy that talked to Tucker Carlson was saying exactly that? Okay. Of course he did. He presented, like, people need to make an argument. Okay. They can't just like magically wake up one day and be like, we're going to kill all the Jews. And then all the Germans are like, all right, let's do it. That's not how this shit works. Okay. That's not how this shit works. Hassan, I just wanted to point the view of the liberal Germans with regards to the choice of words. I agree with what's happening in Gaza is a genocide and Trump is a fash. I don't care. I don't care about fucking liberal Germans and their sentiment. Okay. I don't care. That's my point. My point is I don't care. I don't care about the optics of the situation from the perspective of liberal Germans. Like, God forbid. I can't even get fucking liberal Americans to understand what the fuck is going on. You think I give a shit about liberal Germans? Jesus Christ, dude. Holy fuck.
And I'm telling you, this is true. Kamala, a committed Marxist, you know, her father's a Marxist professor, will be far worse than crooked Joe Biden. She's going to be worse because he doesn't really believe it. She does. She does believe it. And she'll go back to no fracking and all the other things we talked about. She'll go back to them on day one. But on day one of my administration, I will stop this invasion. I will seal the border. I will end the harassed migrant flights. And I will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of our country. We have no choice. Thank you. Thank you. We will not allow our country to be destroyed. They're destroying our country. We will get the criminals out, and we will not.
Hey, dumbass lib Germans who were worried about the optics of comparing it to fucking Adolf Hitler. Google the Madagascar plan, okay? So that you can better understand your own grandfather's history, okay? Like, it didn't start off with, like, we're just going to fucking execute every Jew, okay? It didn't start off like that.
Over the world, and they're coming from prisons and they're coming from jails. We're not going to let this happen to our country. Another terrible effect of the Harris migrant invasion, and she's the one that wanted it more than Biden. Biden didn't know what the hell was happening. He said, oh, that sounds like a nice idea. Is that it is driving housing costs through the roof. You know that, right?
Yeah, housing is a problem. Why? Migrants. Grocery costs are high. Why? Migrants. I stubbed my toe yesterday. Why? A Guatemalan migrant is responsible. Everything is migrants. Migrants are in every corner. Migrant, migrant, migrant.
They assure us we cannot take them unless Germany is prepared to allow them a certain amount of capital to bring with them as immigrants. For hundreds of years, Germany was good enough to receive these elements, although they possessed nothing except infectious political and physical diseases.
Wow. Wow. So these Jews who migrated into, migrant Jews who migrated into Germany, migrants, brought infectious diseases with them? Who else says that, like, right now? That's right. It's the buttoned up version of Donald Trump, J.D. Vance. He says that.
What they possess today, they have by a very large extent gained at the cost of the less astute German nation by the most reprehensible manipulations. Today, we are merely paying this people what it deserves. When the German nation was, thanks to the inflation instigated and carried through by Jews, deprived of the entire savings which it had accumulated in years of honest work, when the rest of the world took away the German nation's foreign investments, when we were divested of the whole of our colonial possessions, these philanthropic considerations evidently carried little noticeable weight with democratic statesmen. Today, I can only assure these gentlemen that thanks to the...
It's like, oh, we lost our colonies, oh, and then the democratic statesmen didn't even care about us losing our colonies, dude.
Brutal education with which the democracies favored us for 15 years, we are completely hardened to all...
By the way, woke mind virus is I mean, it's directly one-to-one. It's not almost one-to-one. It's directly one-to-one. It's just the language has been updated because, like, everybody kind of, like, liberalism defeated Nazism and basically became Nazism, okay? Like, they militarily, the Western powers, along with the USSR, militarily defeated Nazi Germany, and then the Western powers, in an effort to continue or not even neoliberal, but at the time, like, liberal hegemonic dominance, and defeat the much larger scourge of socialism, communism, basically adopted the same exact people, the people that were responsible for the death and destruction in many of these circumstances. And what ended up happening is just fascism never died. It actually thrived under liberalism. Fascism thrived under liberalism in the beginning stages of like fascism's rise to power anyway, okay? And that exact same cycle has continued for the past 100 years, okay? That's precisely the reason why you see even direct people that held the guns, okay, against the Jews in places like Ukraine, for example, get standing ovations from liberals because they don't think beyond the fact that, like, this brave Ukrainian veteran in the Canadian Parliament was anti-socialist during World War II. Hitler lost personally, but fascism won. Okay?